It is noontime. Let's see what the weather's like outside today. Oh, it doesn't look very good. It's a bit of a blizzard outside today. Holy cow. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. We've got a tree branch down here. Kind of fell on the Julian Zabart, but it didn't do any damage. I'll have to cut that down. Yeah, it's really nasty outside. Winter blizzard. So yesterday we got the freezing rain and we had a family dinner and the power went out in the middle of the afternoon, so there's no power until it almost got dark. So it was kind of a strange family dinner, sitting in the dark talking to each other. No food. It was all in the oven, ready to be heated. But we did finally get to eat. The power came back on. Now I don't know how cold my plant room got. I hope it stayed warm enough to keep all the sensitive trees alive. Yeah, you can't do much when the power goes out. Yeah, so that's the outdoors today. It's a pretty stormy day. Let's head into the greenhouse. A lot nicer in here. It is. It's about 8 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so not too bad in here. The snow is kind of building up on the roof of the greenhouse here, but it slides off from the heat, which is kind of nice. It's really nice in the greenhouse here in winter, especially during a storm. You can look out and see the snow swirling around and the wind blowing, and it's actually quite pleasant in here. Yeah, it's a nasty day. Let's check out the polyhouse. It's not doing so well. Hard to walk in the snow. There's the wild thing down there. Oh my goodness. So here's the polyhouse. The roof is kind of caved in and there's really thick ice on it. I can't bang it off. But the trees are doing all right. As long as this roof doesn't collapse in on the trees, they'll be all right. Yeah, so even though the polyhouse has these big holes in the ceiling, it's actually quite pleasant in here. There's no wind. Yeah. Joe's still doing okay there. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, I can get this snow off of here. Maybe today. Yeah, it's pretty frozen. We had all that freezing rain yesterday. And the temperature is dropping quite cold now for the next week. The highs are all below freezing. Yeah, nasty day out today. Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. I'm going to be pruning up my red maple penjing. These are native red maples. It didn't grow a whole lot this year. We had a really hot summer and the trees did all right. They kind of leafed out nicely in spring and they put on some growth, but not a lot. So there won't be a lot of pruning on this forest. I don't want to be out here in this blizzard too long, so I'll just have a short video today. Here is a look at the maple penjing or forest. I used to have the little fisherman down here and some rocks and kind of a shore, but I took the rocks out and I used them in my Portulacaria afroforest, so it's looking a little bare right now. And you can see the moss is really grown thick and that needs to be cleaned up. And I'll probably be repotting this forest this spring. So there's a look at the growth. You can see all the tips. And there's, you know, 1 or 2 shoots that grew quite long, but not, you know, not super vigorous. So I'll be pruning back the longer shoots today, getting the trees a little more compact, getting them ready for spring. Okay, I'm ready to begin the pruning. So I'll start with the thickest and tallest main tree here in the forest. So I want that upright, that natural upright maple style, where all the major trunk lines are reaching up towards the sky, and then off of those trunk lines will come more of my horizontal branches, but it'll always kind of nicely flow. And that's part of the beauty of maples, is they have a nice flowing, graceful structure. So I'm looking at the growth. I'll start up here. I've got buds at the base of this new shoot. I got buds here, 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 and here. So again, I want to prune back not to the first pair of buds, but the second pair. So in spring, the first pair of buds will grow and elongate, and then I'll prune that back to the buds that I want to develop for the summer. So that keeps your growth really nice and compact. It gets all that vigorous spring growth kind of is like sacrifice branches, and then you prune them off and you get, you know, a nice compact tree with short internodes, so it looks more miniature. So on this branch, I've got kind of a good pair of buds here, kind of dormant buds here, and a good pair here. So I'm going to take it off to this strong pair of buds up here. So I'll just take the tip off like that. There's a lot of stubs I'll have to clean up on the tree from the last time I pruned it. Get rid of those. There's a stub in the middle here. And then on this other branch, I've got strong buds at the base, good strong buds here, so I'll prune just above there, like that. This branch I won't touch, it's looking good. There's another little branch at the base here that looks good. There's some stubs I can clean up here, like that. And this branch, I've got a strong tip bud, some buds back here, buds here, so I'll take it off just to here. Shortening it a little bit. That'll give me a bit of taper and movement. I won't touch this branch. Coming up, I've got a stub here I can clean up. This one's fine. This one is kind of, there's no buds until way up here, so it's a fairly long internode. That may get shortened in the future. I'll just clean a stub up here. Yeah, I can't do much with that branch. It's kind of long and straight this section, so eventually I'll probably remove it and replace it with some finer branching. But for now, I'll keep it. I've got this branch at the back and this one, so this could come off eventually. But I want it, as I said, to expel that vigorous spring growth, and then I'll prune it back kind of midsummer. This branch tip, I got buds here, 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 so I'll just take the tip off like that. So stub here, stub here. And I think that's got the main tree pruned up. This secondary tree here, I've got strong buds at the tip here, some dormant buds down here. This is kind of getting long and starting to interfere with the other tree. So again, I'll leave these buds develop in spring, and then I'll prune it back to these smaller buds back here eventually. The tip here, I've got buds here, down here, so I'll just take the tip off. There's a dead part here I can take off. And the rest is pretty good. I'll let those develop in spring and then prune them up later on. The main one I want to prune is this back tree. You can see it has this big long shoot that shot up. There's another one here. So let's start with this one. I'll prune it back. I've got buds at the base here, here, here. I'll take it off here, leaving some good buds on that branch. And then the tallest one here, I got buds here, 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 all over the branch, so I can pretty well shorten it to wherever I want. And it's getting kind of straight, so I've got some buds here, more back here, some up here, so I'll take it off here. Taking the whole tip off that branch. And then once it grows in spring, I'll prune it back further to some of these buds or branches back here. So kind of a preliminary winter prune. Dead tip here. I don't think I need to touch many of the other trees. They're all looking fairly good. I'm just cleaning up some dead stubs here. Yeah, I think the rest is looking quite good. I don't think I need to touch anything else. I will do a little bit of cleanup just to see what the root base is looking like on these trees. So here is a look at the Penjing now. I'll rotate it around. So here's the front, coming around to the right hand side. The back. And the left hand side. This one was a cutting off of one of these other trees, and it's doing quite well. And back to the front. So when you want to keep your tree small like this, you don't want, fast, rapid growth. You want moderate growth, small internodes to keep the branching nice and fine and miniature looking. So when I repot these, I'll do some root pruning. That should kind of zap some of the vigor in spring, and they should grow quite finely for the next summer. And maples are typically like that. If you don't touch the root system for a couple of years, it gets too vigorous and you get these big, long, straight shoots with large internodes between the buds. And if you want to keep your trees small and miniature, it's not what you want. You want small, fine growth, and just be patient over the years and, develop this really nice, fine branch structure. If your tree's in development, if you want to grow the trunk rapidly, then you do want fast growth, but not on something like this. So I'm quite happy with this forest. It was started from seed, and you can see the trees are starting to make that transition from looking like seedlings into something that looks more like a miniature tree. Okay, I'm going to pull off some of this moss around the base of the trees. It's getting very, very thick. And I'll be repotting these in spring, as I said, so they'll all get bare rooted and all this moss will go away. But for now, I just want to see what's happening. It'll make it a little easier to water them without the moss around them. You can see the actual root base starts way down here, and the moss was going up the trunks quite high. Not on all trees. This one's not too bad, the main tree. And the trees are starting to get a bit of taper to the trunks, and yeah, I think they're looking good. They're on track. I did show this forest at one time, I think in the London show. It was looking quite nice in spring. So once I do the repot, I'll redo the landscape, making it look like a miniature forest again. It'll be quite exciting doing all the landscape work. I like doing that. So in this forest there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees. And that's why I grew this as a cutting off one of the other trees, because I didn't want 4 trees, I wanted an odd number 5, which always looks good in a forest to have an odd number of trees. Anything you can kind of break the symmetrical look up a bit helps. That's why they generally have odd numbers in forests, so that that just makes it look a little more natural. Okay, so I think that's cleaned up enough. There's some other moss here I could take off, but that'll come in spring when I repot it. And I think I'll give it a good water. It's a little dry back here. So we'll finish off today by giving the trees a nice water, and then I can put them back on the bench. All right, here I go with the water. And I'll, water it, let that water soak in, like that. Let it sit for a bit, and then I'll water it again to make sure it's all thoroughly soaked. It's quite easy to get dry spots in your soil if you're especially in the winter when, you don't have to water very often, and there can be sections of the soil dry out, so you need to give it a thorough water when you do water it to make sure all the parts of the soil are soaked. Well, it's soaking in nicely now. Still a bit of water pooling here. That soak in, give it one more watering. Okay. And I think that'll be good. And I only have to water out here in the greenhouse every 3 or 4 days at the most. It depends on the weather. If it's sunny, they use a little more water. It gets warm and things dry out a bit faster. But on days like today, there's not much evaporation happening. So there we go. That forest is all prepped, ready for spring, where I'll be repotting it and redoing the landscape. So no big chops to the trees today, just sort of light maintenance pruning. I think when most people think of pruning bonsai, that's what they think of, just kind of pruning the tips and kind of light maintenance pruning. But when you're developing the trees, sometimes you have to do some pretty hard cuts, developing the root base into a nice kind of flat radial form, getting the taper in your trunks and the thickness. And yeah, there's a lot of hard cuts that slowly lead to a more finished tree where you are just doing kind of light maintenance pruning all the time. These trees have a long way to go, but they're getting there, considering they're started from seed. So the next big step for these trees will be the repotting. I'll bare root them, prune up the roots, maybe tweak the arrangement a bit. And I think I'll use the same pot. I like this pot with the forest, and I'll add the fisherman back and a bit of a river here with some rocks and that. It'll be quite fun getting the landscape looking good. So that is all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.